Large language models such as ChatGPT are so powerful that can generate text such as stories, poems, or even jokes. And they can do it in many languages. For example, ChatGPT supports 58 languages. In English, for example, we have 500,000 or up to 1 million different words. And imagine that you want to generate one of these words. In practice, it means that the model has to predict as many different values, which represent the probabilities, as the size of the vocabulary is. So for English, it means that it has to predict up to 1 million different values. So would it be feasible to predict so many values when generating one word? I'm a PhD student in computational linguistics, and in this video I'm going to talk about how large language models process the input and generate the output. And specifically I focus on whether they work with words or actually with something different. So consider that large language models process input word by word. It would mean that it is easy to interpret, and also it works well for very common words. But it has several drawbacks. First one is that the vocabulary is really large, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The second problem is that we can't handle unseen words. And the third disadvantage is that it's very poor generalization for creative, rare, or misspelled words. So another approach would be to forget about words and take the input character by character. The advantage is that we can represent any word. The implementation is easy and we have also small vocabulary. But the problem is that it would be really slow for either training of the model or then during the inference, during generating the output. Also, another problem is that it's very hard to represent what these characters mean. So the solution which is used in large language models and in general NLP application is something in the middle. It's the sweet spot between the characters and words, and the unit which is used is called a token. And the process of obtaining these tokens is called tokenization. So in practice there are two main approaches for tokenization. The first one is called Byte Pair Encoding, and the second one word-based. Since ChatGPT uses BPE, Byte Pair Encoding, and also it's easier to implement, I will show the example of this type of tokenization. So the principle of BPE is very simple. In the beginning we have the text split to characters, and for each pair of adjacent characters we calculate the frequency, and then we sort the pairs and select the most frequent one. And when we have it, we merge those two characters together. So let me show you an example. We have the dataset which consists of 4 words, which is low, lower, newest, and wider. And to handle word boundaries, there is a special character inserted at the end of each boundary, which we denote by this W tag. So in the beginning, we have all the words split to characters, and in each other step, we select the pair of adjacent characters which are the most frequent. So in the first step, we select L and O because the frequency is 2. They appear here, and we merge them. And this new pair, LO, together, is a new token. And we add this pair to the vocabulary, to the tokens. In the second step, we again calculate the frequencies of pairs of adjacent tokens. And in this case is W and E. And we merge it. In the first step, again, we have frequency 2 for the pair R and the end of word. We merge it again, and we proceed by going through the all other steps. I decided to go on to the step 7, and in the situation where there are several options there are several pairs which have the same frequency. We can select any of them. So at the end of this procedure, after 7 merges, we have 13 tokens which are displayed here. Of course, this is a very simple data set, and in practice these are not real tokens which are used in ChatGPT, but I just wanted to show you an example of how this works. But to see how it actually works in ChatGPT, the OpenAI provides a website where you can try your own sentences, how they are tokenized into tokens. So the website is platform.openai.com/tokenization, and here we can try to insert a word, several sentences. For example, I try to insert the sentence ChatGPT doesn't generate words, it generates tokens, and we can see how this sentence is split into tokens in real ChatGPT model. We can see that many of the words are kept as they are. So the reason for that is that the majority of text in the training data of ChatGPT are in English. But if we try several other languages, for example French or German, which I try here, we can see that the tokens are not the words, but there are also some subwords. So this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.